What's up, Internet world? Matthew here. I am coming to you via Zoom. I am talking with the illustrious David Nekava here. Hi, Dave.
Hey.
I just want to give everybody a heads up. This is the first time I'm doing this, so if there's any glitches or anything doesn't go quite right, I apologize ahead of time, so we're just going to roll with this. Now, David is somebody I've known for a number of years. David, you are a personal trainer. You are amazing at it. I remember when we worked at Equinox together years ago, I would see David on the floor doing all these dynamic exercises, all this dynamic motion and movement for himself, for his clients. And I remember even seeing some of the trainers kind of looking over like, huh? Like what's he do? Like, he would hardly ever have his clients on machines. He was always working with them, with their bodies, with gravity, and he was always different than everybody else. So this is why I really want to get your opinion, David. And I want to thank you for taking the time for me.
Oh, my pleasure, man. Thanks so much. And, we go way back, like you said, from the Equinox days, and illustrious, that's some word, but thank you. And you're right, thank you for bringing that up, because it's definitely about ground-based movement, about functional movement, about really helping people use their bodies in the way that they were intended to be used, and not on machines. Mm-hmm. My story is really, it did start from those early Equinox days. A lot of the education that we got as trainers, you were in the massage therapy department, so it was a little bit different, but in the personal training department, we got a lot of education about athletic movement. Mm-hmm. And everything was very, very much geared towards how do we help an athlete move better. But most of the people that I was seeing, 90% of the people that I was seeing coming through the door in that kind of suburban environment were people that were just day-to-day people that were from all different walks of life, that were non-athletes. I mean, some of them were, but most of them were not. And what I started to find was there was a huge gap in the education that I had in order to be able to help those people. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking about things like, what their nutrition was comprised of, what their lifestyle looked like, what disease states they were going through, all these things that had really big implications on them improving their health. So for a long time, I started to look at things from a different perspective. I wanted to be able to help people in a holistic manner. I wanted to be able to really give them a 360-degree experience, because I had, I'll give you a particular example. I had one woman who had, a lot of emotional baggage, who starved herself basically for 48 hours and was not eating, but nothing but this giant 64-ounce iced coffee. That was her food during her intense work days as an attorney, and a lot of emotional baggage. And she came in and she said, well, I want to lose weight. Let's go, work out now. So if I were to just purely look at her from the standpoint of like, okay, we have to make sure that you're doing the appropriate exercises at the appropriate intensity, I would have completely missed the mark. Mm-hmm. So I started to look at things a little bit more holistically. I went to, there was a guy that came into our personal training monthly trainers meeting forum. Mm-hmm. And he was a graduate of the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. And he started talking about holistic nutrition and emotion and lifestyle and all these other components that were really playing a big role. That was the start of my impetus down that path. And it really, I ran with it. I spent 3 years with him in the private sector doing all these nutrition workshops, really diving deep. A lot of it was centered around food allergies. So I started to get a lot of education around that. Long story short, I went private after Equinox. I started building a private client base, and I moved down. I did really well with that. I moved down here to South Florida, and I had to create something that was unique in order to stand out in the marketplace. Mm-hmm. There are thousands and thousands of trainers down here. It's a saturated market. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of business training along the way that helped, but I knew I had to be unique. And I'm a very grassroots, pick myself up by the bootstraps kind of guy, where if something's not working, I just make it happen. I just, piece together whatever resources I have and I make it happen. So I did that. I found that there was this trend in the marketplace where people were just, they were patronizing stretching as the primary service. not in the way that you go to yoga and you stretch, but as a service that somebody applies to you, like an assisted stretch.
Okay.
So I found a couple of places where, they had tables out, and they would harness clients to the table. They would do an intake, and then they would spend 30 or 60 minutes actually performing
Like stretches and stuff.
Stretches, yeah, with this particular technique, stretching to help people feel better, because we both know a lot of the joint pathologies, a lot of the pain that people feel is rooted in compression on nerves because of joint dysfunction. Right. Because the muscles are pulling the joint in a certain way to cause the nerve compression. Right. Just muscular imbalance, basically. Right. So you fix that with massage therapy, and I thought, hey, this is great with stretching, right? I can help balance out muscles for people, and they don't have to do a thing. They could just lie there, and I can perform the work. So I knew that would really go well as a service, but I felt that it was limited in scope, right? There was no massage therapy as part of it. Not even self massage, not even myofascial release, no foam rolling, no percussive devices, nothing. And also the wellness coaching. The same people that are coming in to feel better with their joints are the same people that are looking to lose weight, have more energy, better skin, feel better, and just all around be healthier and prevent disease or get off the medications. So I knew that there was a gap in the marketplace that I could really take advantage of. So I did that, and I created this company, and I call it Stretch Plus. That's what you see the logo over here.
The logo there, yeah, very nice. Yeah.
So it's the name of the company is Stretch Plus, and so what I do is I have a table, I have a professional massage table, and I travel to my clients to make sure that they have the comfort and privacy of their own home. I bring my equipment to their living room. I do a full intake, and I do primarily the stretching. I don't have any harness devices or anything like that. I just use my body weight in a certain manner. Right. To do strategic corrective stretching in an assisted manner. And then we do, I have a TRex, which I don't know if you know what a TRex is, but I mount it to a door, like their front door or kitchen door, whatever it is in their home. And we use that for kind of like self-guided stretch. So I'll have people do upper body stretches with the TRex, a lat stretch, a pec stretch, all that kind of stuff.
For our viewers who don't know, can you explain what the TRex is?
Yeah, and it's nothing but a Teflon type of strap. I actually don't know what the material is, but it's a very strong material. These straps, and they have handles on the end. And all you do is you mount it to some fixed location above your head, either on a wall or a ceiling or a door. And you can use your body weight and gravity to perform all sorts of exercises. Okay. So I help people kind of use it to do assisted exercises if they're not, because most of my clients are not capable of doing body weight movement yet. I progress them through that. So we use that, and we use it for stretching. But everybody's different, but for the most part, the stretching is the primary service, but I'm also adding core training to kind of help people fix and prevent future occurrences of back pain or hip problems, knee problems, shoulder problems, along with mobility, to make sure that they can move functionally after I stretch them out. And also the wellness coaching. The wellness coaching is huge because it's just a natural next step for all those people. They're looking to get healthier. Everybody's looking to get healthier. Everybody's looking to lose the weight. So we have a great program that is really, really centered around low GI eating education, helping people understand how to balance their blood sugars and help them understand how to structure a meal. Most people don't even know what the structure of a meal should look like for them, how much they should be eating, what they should be eating. They don't even know that. So I have this great platform with educational resources, website, videos, products that help people overcome the hurdles inherent to the weight loss process, strategic supplementation, and the education is really huge. And I support that as a coach. I use the videos so that I don't have to be doing all of the explaining. I just help them guide them along the path. And I give all my clients a journal and makes them purchase this journal that also supports their education and helps them kind of stay connected to the process of writing down what they're doing. And altogether, that 360-degree experience has been phenomenal. It's going really well. I'm helping out a lot of people. And the ones that take my guidance and work together with me on those steps are seeing the success. So that's what my business is.
That's amazing. And I have to say it's great. I remember a couple months ago when you're like, you're trying to find exactly what you were going to do that was going to fit the market. You know, you were scratching your head and you just like jumped out into it. And I hugely admire that. And I want to commend you on that. A lot of people, you know, they sit around, they complain, they don't do, you know, and part of what Monster Health and Fitness represents is not just talking with other fitness and health professionals, is trying to create a bigger movement. And a lot of what people don't do, even in their own lives, like you say, you know, they want to lose weight, they want to do, but they don't have the education, or sometimes, you know, they have the desire, but you know, they don't have that drive. You know, for me, I always find that the biggest factors, the biggest monsters really are just fear and self-doubt and ignorance and sometimes lack of self-worth. I'm sure you've seen the same thing. And I think you're definitely taking those monsters head on. So Dave, I officially announce you a monster.
Thanks so much, man. And I have to give you props. I think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
Such a brilliant way to really kind of shed light on people out in the world that are working with patients, working with clients, doing innovative things in the health and wellness space. And you know, you also know that I help doctors, I help like health professionals, I help them implement the solutions that I have, particularly the weight loss education and a lot of the nutraceuticals that we help the patient, the health professionals provide to their patients for a revenue stream and to help bring wellness to their patients. You know, I do that. So shedding light on that, being able to bring that to a broader scale and just, you know, creating awareness for people, helping them know the resources that are available to them is huge. And I think what you're doing is awesome. You have a great video presence, and I wish you a lot of success with this, man. I hope it, you know, takes off to the moon. It's awesome.
Thank you very much. I love that you're focusing on education. That's the biggest key, and that's what I want to tell everybody right now. If you take nothing out of this interview, let education be your primary vehicle to improving your life. All right. If you have the drive, if you have the ambition, it's going to take you nowhere if you don't know where you're going. And like David said, you know, if you don't even know how to put the food on your plate, you don't even know what kind of food or how much food you're putting on your plate, you're already starting at a disadvantage. So when you educate yourself and you find people like David, you're going to be sending me all the links to everything that you've been doing. And I just want to bring up, I actually just did an interview yesterday with an old friend who actually works at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. So this is like a huge synchronistic moment right here that I'm seeing this come over and over and over itself. So I'm going to include links for that. I'm going to include links to your website, to what you're doing, so people can follow you on Facebook, on Instagram, and everything that you're doing. Want everybody to see what you're doing and continue that track in a positive direction. All right. So everybody, make sure you go down to the description, check out all the links, do all the following, and keep up with this monster over here. All right. David, do you have any closing words?
Yeah, I do. You know, and you know, education is key. It's crucial. It's huge. But you know, like people like you that have a heart, you know, that want to help. It's like that is also a huge component. Like education is one thing. Like if I just said that I could just throw a book at somebody, at anybody, and give them all the education that they needed, and that would help them overcome any challenge that they had if that were true. But really what's more is you need the education, but the heart of the person that really cares to kind of guide you through that is crucial. Also, we have a lot of coaches. We have thousands of coaches around the country. And I was fortunate enough to meet our friend Lisa and Joanne that train coaches. We're always looking for people that are heart-centered to be coaches in medical environments where we could provide this education, this weight loss and wellness education to people. And, you know, if there's any other health professionals watching this, you know, reach out to Matt, reach out to me, and we'll help you get connected and be able to provide wellness in your practice.
Okay, great. David, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I know you've got 1.5 billion things to do because you are not just a monster, you're also a grinder and a hustler. So appreciate it. So to everybody else out there, go down, check the links, follow David, and understand that this life is completely and entirely in your hands. make the most out of it that you can. Peace, love, and protein pancakes. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.